10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time. Radiant team ban. Ten seconds remaining.
Greetings and salutations, Dota fans. Welcome in. Our coverage of the TI North, I keep wanting to say North America, the TI America qualifiers continues. I am AC, joined by Merlini, and, well, we got a lot of boys will be boys action, my friend. Drinking Boys versus Void Boys here.
Let's see they are up to.
Early bans out, no real surprise. This is becoming pretty typical, at least for the most part. The Elder Titan, as well as the Lifestealer and Ricky banned out, seeing a lot of that. Tidehunter actually going to be making it into the first ban phase as well. Drinking Boy is going to go with Beastmaster.
Bounty Hunter, Dark Seer.
I personally think Darkseer's a little bit better than Beastmaster right now. The Drinking Boys will differ. Go for the Beastmaster. Juggernaut, I like him a lot versus like the Riki / Bounty Hunter stuff, because as soon as you get roamed on, you just spin and run away.
Right.
And it is very simple. It's nice.
Yeah.
Darkseer offers a lot of team fight, which I think is a little bit better than Beastmaster, because it seems like you need to win fights before you can Roche, as opposed to just taking down Roche with your inner beast.
Well, we'll see something that's becoming a typical look, I think, with the Beastmaster and a Bounty Hunter out. It'll be another question of how effective can the Bounty be at disrupting the Beastmaster's early farm, if he is going to be off lane, is what one imagine. You know, Iron Talent Gaming and all that kind of stuff. Can the Bounty actually put out a fair enough amount of harassment to throw him off his farm, or is it going to be like we saw earlier? Can't remember, these series have gone so fast, but we were watching, pretty sure it's Capitalist and I do believe, we watched probably against Drinking Boys. Zai actually was ineffective trying to disrupt a Beastmaster's farm with a Bounty. What do you think of that? Is that the kind of thing, I mean, you're going to try to do it, but it seems like teams are beginning to figure it out a little.
It's too hard to stop. And just because the Beastmaster changes up his playstyle as a Bounty Hunters in the game, what they do is they Iron Talon, they pull the creep back, and then they just right-click it down as the boar slows it back. Super easy versus melee. A little bit tougher versus the troll creep, but they take minimal amounts of damage, and if Bounty Hunter's there, he's not harassing the lane, and there's very little kill setup. So it's kind of a counter in theory, but it's very difficult to execute. However, with Darkseer and Bounty Hunter, it makes support life really difficult.
Now, second round of bans done. Viper and Oracle banned out by Void Boys, with Lion and Alchemist taking an exit from Drinking Boys. Winter Wyvern picked up by Void Boys. So definitely a very team fight centric kind of an approach from Void Boys, and Drinking Boys, well, it's not lost on them either, as they go ahead and grab the Disruptor, who's another hero like the Lifestealer, like the Ricky, etc., that has really seen his star rise, his popularity in this patch really just on the upswing in a big way.
Yeah, especially with Darkseer becoming far more popular. Disruptor's one of the better laners to kill the Darkseer. Not terribly great at zoning him out, but still very good at limiting his farm, making him feel a little bit scared. And Darkseer, Winter Wyvern, great synergy there, but also very good against the Beastmaster. Inner Beast working against himself, and good at locking down a Jug. Sven, nice and tanky. One of the best carries versus a Juggernaut.
Yep.
You know how many slashes? You pop your Warcry, you take like a fourth of your HP. maybe a third.
Well, we were just talking last time around too about, we saw the Echo Saber come out on a Lifestealer, and talking about Sven being a very effective hero and with that item, and it's easy to see right here. I mean, you have the counter initiation plays out of Disruptor and Beastmaster to have to fool with, but you can see the combo potential is huge. Darkseer into Winter's Curse, into Stormhammer, into just Finn just cleaving away. So the ability for Void Boys to just blow Drinking Boys off the map in a matter of a couple of seconds is certainly through the roof, whereas Drinking Boys seems to have a little bit more versatility built in. The Enchantress certainly helps with that as well, going to allow them to be active on the map if they want to be very early on.
I don't know if you want that sort of versatility. Versatility is sometimes bad because you can't stand up to Void Boys in their team fight. Darkstar Winter Wyvern's already, I would say, stronger than like Disruptor plus Beastmaster and Juggernaut and Enchantress. And then with top that with the Sven and Drinking Boys, almost certainly underhanded when matched up in a straight 5-on-5 situation. And Bounty Hunter can mirror the Enchantress's movements very early. I must say I favored the Void Boys draft a lot more at this stage. And to top that off, they do have last pick, so likely to gain even more of an edge. So Drinking Boys probably want their mid laner, but whatever they pick, Void Boys can counter with something a little bit better. They can also throw Juggernaut mid, kind of a wash in a lot of situations, but probably want a right clicker to synergize with the Beastmaster.
I was going to say, like, whenever you look, and I was thinking the same thing, both teams looking, unless, like you said, they want to run a mid-Jug, a mid-Beastmaster, even kind of an old-school approach, but when you're looking at the mids, especially for Void Boys, I mean, they're going to have a chance to counterpick, as you had mentioned, but I don't know that they have to counterpick a lot. They've got 4 heroes that match up well to begin with. Is there a standout pick, you think, given how oriented they're going to be on early team fights and the ability to just blow DB off the map all in one go? Like, what's your dream mid here?
I personally like Quap or DK.
Yeah.
I think Quap's a little bit better because they have much more kill potential on the Sven. And you want a hero that's not going to be able to be harassed out by the Bounty Hunter that easily. Dragon Knight if they want a frontliner, Quap if they want to fight a lot more. But I think they need more team fights, so that's where my tip goes to Quap. Anything else that really suits them?
I was going to say, what about Void Boys? Especially now that you see the Quap is the pick.
Void Boys, let's see. Puck is kind of out of favor, although I think it synergizes really well with their lineup. I don't think it will scale well into the late game, and they might not want to just rely on a Sven core, especially versus a Beastmaster. So what's another mid core that can scale? Storm is not great versus Disruptor. Phantom Lancer. Okay, I can get on board with Phantom Lancer. Very good versus the Queen of Pain. They actually can pressure her a lot. And if you're good at dodging the Shadow Strikes, actually you can just double walk it and dispel it anyways. So no big deal for them.
Well, we saw UG have quite a bit of success with that hero, and it's certainly a safety belt hero too. You know, Juggernaut, if you go something like a Battle Fury Jug build, I mean, yeah, you can kind of deal with illusions late game, but for the most part, you're looking at a PL that's going to be very difficult for Drinking Boys to deal with if they allow him any kind of standing past 35-40 minutes. But we are ready to move on in. This is a best of one, as is the case here all throughout the qualifying group stage, etc. And yeah, I think we're both simpatico, my friend. Like I look at Drinking Boys, and it's easy to identify a few things they can do well. They do have the ability to turn fights very easily. If you have an overcommitment from Void Boys, the ability to react is huge for them. But we're going to table that because you insist we should do this. Team with the most Roshan kills.
Void Boys. Team with the first barracks kill. Void Boys. Player with the most seven. I got to see their items. See who Iron Talons. Let's see. Beastmaster looks like he's going to be in lane, and Darkseer almost certainly going to be in lane. I think that Sven will have much more free farm potential. So let's go with Sven. Have a first barracks destruction. Doesn't seem that early. I'm
gonna say 30 to 40.
Yeah, 30 to 40 seems pretty safe. It could be 20 to 30 though. Depends on how bad we think Drinking Boys is.
I casted them earlier. Void Boys, I mean, they struggled in the game I casted too, but the lineups are what worry me. I'm going to go 30 to 40.
I'm going 20 to 30.
All right, that way at least one of us
All right, okay.
Dota. Let's play Dota now. Anyway, so 30 seconds in, it's going to be typical rune stuff. I think we can do see symbol of peace is moving around and scouting some, but first thoughts now that we actually have these and we have a general idea of how they're going to lane out.
These teams already play a lot differently. Like, notice as soon as we finish predictions, usually there's 4 wards up on the map. There's only 2 right now, and they just place them down. So pretty slow at placing the wards, getting in the base for these 2 teams, and a noticeable difference between them and the tier 1 teams. However, let's see if Bounty Hunter can snipe this on top. There is a dust on Disruptors, so probably not wanting to really risk it there.
All right. Runes are picked up. Let's take a look at who's handling who as the lanes take shape. It will be Symbol's Peace, as we mentioned. He's poking his nose around here, the dire side jungle. He's on the Bounty Hunter. It's going to be Omega Poner playing on our Winter Wyvern down here in the safe lane, joined by Petsoul, or Patsoul, I should say, on the Sven. Going to be farming in that bottom lane. 747 going to be taking the Phantom Lancer into mid, while Snake King is on the Darkseer out in the off lane. On the dire side, DrinkingBoys, they're going to have Shanks playing on our Enchantress. Disruptor going to be handled by Mantal, giving a little harassment to Snake King as we talk. Sakula is going to be farming up the Juggernaut, also in this safe lane. The Queen of Pain, Gitavas, playing on the Quap, and might be under a bit of harassment here, as well as Mad on the Beastmaster, as you mentioned, did not start out with an Iron Talon.
Yeah, Winter Wyvern not the best support at zoning out a Beastmaster. Doesn't really have the range to deal with it, and Shanks already looking to put a lot of pressure onto the old Winter Wyvern. Bounty Hunter a little bit slow at mirroring the Enchantress's movement. I think that's definitely what you want to aim to do as a Bounty Hunter in this situation. You can't kill mid as Quap because Phantom Lancer is just not the best hero. Can't really counter harass a Queen of Pain that easily, and I think that you're definitely looking to kill the Beastmaster. You could potentially kill top because Disruptor is a very weak support if Bounty Hunter is already on top of you. But wanting to make sure that Sven Patsoul can get his farm on.
Everything's staying relatively quiet so far. Glad the spam about the last hits update on the prediction. Oh, never mind. There it is again. Really need someone to take a lead because that's more obnoxious than I thought it would be. But, I mean, I'm kind of with you. Is all we can really do is wait to see how these teams execute at this point. Like, DKB does seem like they're under the gun a bit more to make something happen with the Enchantress and to really try to make sure they get some kind of a springboard in the mid-game. But I don't know that Void Boys is that worried about it. They have heroes that can cope with pressure. They have the ability to just take their farm, and if they can get Symbol of Peace in particular where he needs to be, which is, as you said, mirroring the Enchantress and just leeching XP, what have you, they're going to be in great shape.
Yeah, she doesn't have a smoke, so not very easy for her to skirt around to a potential kill lane. But if you're Enchantress, who do you kill in the situation? I think the Darkseer is actually the best shot for them because they do have the Disruptor in the top lane. Sven is just extremely difficult to kill right now. Winter Wyvern potentially, but I don't think DK or Beastmaster plus Enchantress can kill the Winter Wyvern.
I need to get something going for the Bounty badly. He's still not even level 2 yet. Continuing to poke around, might get some harassment on the Mad. Perhaps does have his Orb of Venom, so there is a sentry though. And yep, they just ping it out, ping him, so Mad knows to stay safe.
Mm-hmm.
A little bit of harassment going on here mid, as we can see the Wildkin Ripper was picked up, and the Tornado doing its job, but for the most part, big win so far for the PL 747, sitting at 16 CS, tied with his safe lane farmer.
Yeah, not really feeling the threat of the Enchantress at all this game. And she did move top, but without the guys that are smoke, they will be spotted out by the early place of Observer Ward from Bounty Hunter Snake King. Hashtag the King will be safe. But maybe not so much the...
Oh, can they catch him? Yep, there we go. A little bit of slow from the Orb of Venom. Stormhammer's there. They should have the damage to get this done. That's going to be closer out to dive. Nope. Instead, that Stout Shield doing the work they needed it to do and mitigating just enough damage to keep him alive.
That Arctic Burn just ended a little bit too early for them.
BKB smoking too. This will be Shanks.
Swap chasing down Snake King. Hashtag the King.
Return of the King. We'll see if they want to take a run at 747 now. In the meantime, Bounty suicides himself to Roshan. And yep, they're going to engage. There's a Shadow Strike. Gitavas a little late getting help, but it's going to come regardless. 747 netted down from behind. There's going to be the kinetic field. And they will have the damage, so first blood on the way. As one last scream, and it's Gitavas, who makes it 1-0.
Made it out that doppelwalk easily with the Shadow Strike.
You didn't realize, probably not. We're probably being way too fancy calling him Gitavas. I bet it's just Gitovas.
I'm just gonna call him Quap.
Quap. The Quap. And the King. Speaking of the king, could be in some trouble. Uses surge, no glimpse. He's got it. Wants to use it, couldn't get range maybe. Yep, looks like he just couldn't get close enough.
Yep. If he dropped the kinetic field, he wouldn't have enough mana for glimpse. I thought he was going to do that, but did not notice his very small mana pool. Sven HOD first. Looks like it's going to be a farming game for them.
Hey, as well, I mean, you've got the safety net. You're going to feel very confident if you've got a spin and a PL that are both itemized fairly well, you know, for the late mid-game and early late game. And there's a kill for Symbol of Peace as he brings down the Disruptor, and now Sakula's in trouble. He's going to die as well. Shuriken Toss makes it a double kill for Symbol of Peace, who was running around to level 1 not that long ago. He's now suddenly level 4.5 and gets a huge insurgence of gold.
Yeah, they just were not prepared for the Bounty Hunter. I saw the Disruptor. It took him so long to react to the Ion Shield damage, but likely his camera was not on him and was indeed onto the Darkseer. But missing that first kill on the Darkseer really has hurt them. Bounty Hunter looking for perhaps a very low HP Beastmaster or an Enchantress, but neither of them low, neither of them positioned to be killed easily. Bounty Hunter out of mana.
Well, 2-1, and still, both teams pretty happy to keep the laning phase together, at least for the moment. Disruptor has rotated down the bottom, so we'll see how active he wants to get. Matt is doing pretty damn well, sitting at level 5.5, a little more than that, actually. Almost on par in terms of levels with the Sven, so they haven't been able to zone him out all that effectively. His farm not super impressive, just 17, but it is impressive when you figure he's done it without the Iron Talent. Could be picked off here, though, as the bounty is there. We'll get the slow on. Stormhammer's there. The rest of DKB is there. Kinetic Field's going to be thrown. And he does manage to make it through. And I heard a scream in mid, or a scream somewhere. Sonic Wave, I should say. Blink away from Getovas. And it's going to remain 2-1. So a little bit of misplays. Seemed a little sloppy on both sides. Instead, the winner, Wyvern, does end up dying.
That was really poor execution, trying to kill the Beastmaster.
Yep.
They got like body blocked by just a little bit too much to get on top of the Beastmaster. Very nice kinetic field coming out from the Disruptor.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Bounty Hunter will scout out the Disruptor. Bounty Hunter, no mana left, but they have PL there. They have Darkseer there. They're not scared.
At top, Sakula. We haven't talked about him in a while. Has continued to farm up very well, sitting at 50 CS now. And what's the impact of this Jug going to look like, you think? Like, is there a timing or a certain build you think, given their situation, they would go with him, or just farm him and hope they start winning team fights?
He is in a difficult position because he doesn't match up well versus a Sven. You don't want to take a farming game versus a Sven because you just farm way slower. He has HOD, he's already stacking the Ancients, and you can't do that as a Jug until you have Battle Fury. And you can, at this pace, maybe get Battle Fury by like 13, 14 minutes if you're having a pretty good game. And by that time, Sven will already have cleared his stacks. He'll have his HOD and his Echo Saber and just destroy you before you have any sort of survivability. So, like, maybe get involved if Void Boys...
Oh, wow. Matt's going to end up dead here.
Yeah.
This is a flat-out feed, too. He turned like he was going to fight once, and they really just had no business being there. He could have made it away if he had just beeline straight back to the tower, but instead got cute and ends up paying the price, make it 3-1. Now we're going to have a rotation into mid. And... oh, looks like they're just going to hang back for the moment. Not going to make a run at 747 yet.
They're trying to gank the stack soon. Enchantress has set up as ever we're over there. However, Shanks has not really been terribly active. Only 22 CS on the Enchantress and very far behind in terms of net worth. Not really having that impact that they wish. However, they do have a smoke, level 6 up on the Beastmaster, 3 heroes smoking up. It will be under the Observer Ward. Let's see. They do not want to kill the Bounty Hunter. You do not really want to waste a Roar and a Smoke on there. Ideally, you'd kill PL, but PL's pretty difficult to kill right now.
Yep. They're going to go on him nonetheless. Spots out the Centaur and wisely turns tail, so wasted smoke effort there from DKB, and their execution and movement, you know, you gotta like the way they think. Their timings seem pretty solid, but overall their execution just continues to be sloppy.
And that ward was immediately dewarded. I think like at that point you kind of just use a smoke already for the Enchantress. They could have used a smoke to block up the camp instead of just making it super obvious as to what they were up to. But you know, not really being terribly loose with the sentry wards here. Generally, when you smoke like that, you place a sentry ward right before to ensure that they don't see you. But easy dodges. Patsoul getting pretty quickly out
Omni
of control.
Slash up at top, and Sakula will be able to secure it. It was actually that sentry ward got that kill. The bounty had just picked up a double damage rune, was going to go hunting for the disruptor, I think, and walked across the sentry, got spotted, and the immediate reaction out of Sakula was the Omni, so well played.
Well played indeed. They definitely need a few more kills here and there. Not another smoke picked up by the Enchantress. Stacking up a little bit for them, but I don't know. This Sven is quickly being very troublesome. But as you mentioned, Juggernaut doing pretty darn well. We'll have his Battle Fury, I guess, coming out at some point.
That kill helped him so much.
The stacks. The Battle of the Wards.
Now another one down. This time squirreled away in the trees a bit.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
So, you know, we're at 11, 12 minutes in here, Ben. What's your thoughts on both teams and what goals they've either failed to accomplish or have succeeded in accomplishing here in the early game?
DrinkingBoys have definitely failed in terms of placing pressure with the Enchantress. Like, Darkseer got way too much out of the top lane because Disruptor was just sitting there constantly. The Enchantress didn't really pressure the Sven that much, nor did she pressure the Darkseer, nor did she farm up herself. So that is definitely one big fail for me. Sven's doing a good job of keeping up his net worth, and Juggernaut has been doing a good job of keeping up with the Sven. So I think DrinkingBoys just need to use their ultimates more. Smoke, Sonic Wave, Roar, like all these are going to be pretty important for them.
It was a two-team smoke. Both teams smoked nearly identical times and honestly walked about as close to each other as they could have without revealing each other. But they do get one kill. Now Omega Poner is likely to have that turned around. No stuns, though. And yeah, he's going to make it away. That's a big win as Mad was trailing and wasn't there in time. Tier 1 has been the target after that kill in mid for Void Boys. And Spirit Lance is doing a lot of damage to a lot of these heroes. There's going to be the Roar and a 747, and they're just going to lose him for free. Looked like they thought about perhaps re-engaging top better up, and that's the right call.
Nice Roar. I thought he was going to stop a walk in time, but maybe that 0.1 second cast time really hurting him. That was really close.
DKB. Pass 5. Oh, wow, they might actually get a kill out of this. Yeah, they're going to. There's going to be Stormhammers actually prevented by Blade Fury, so very good timing, very good reaction from Sakula. They nonetheless managed to get a solo kill on the Queen of Pain with nothing but Winter's Curse, and that's the kind of thing that just... There's really no excuse. You know that ability exists, and you know that it's going to be used if you group up. And not only do they get that kill, Patsoul gets to take a 4 or 5 stack for free, and it's going to be up to like 1,600, 1,700 gold.
At least they don't lose the Juggernaut.
Yeah.
But as you mentioned, yeah, you just gotta watch the clump. And as a range hero, it's your job to stay away from the melee, not the melee to stay away from the range.
Right.
Because melee can only be so close. All right.
Mech's going to be done for Snake King here soon, too, and that's why I think things get sticky for DKB. You know, BB's already got superior team fight, then you're going to have a much faster mech compared to anything DKB is going to produce.
What is Quap getting with her staff? I haven't seen Scepter Rush in a really long time, but there's not that many other options. I guess Necrobook, maybe?
That'd be interesting.
I don't think you get Necrobook versus Wyvern, though.
I mean, if it were me, I'd just go Dagon.
Yeah. Dagon falls off way too quickly, though.
Oh, I know. I'm kidding. I'm saying I'm bad at Dota, so don't buy Dagon first item.
You can occasionally. Maybe for Pugna.
Maybe you can. You're actually pretty good at Dota. You can get away with that shit.
Some heroes can. Pugna can, I think.
Well, Dagon Bounty Hunter. There you go. That's a
Dagon Bounty Hunter is actually not that bad.
It really isn't. That's the one hero I actually will go like an early Dagon on. That's not trolly. Is like if it's just a bunch of squish, and I know that it's a low-level pug, and if it's me in the game, it means it is a low-level pug. You can get away with that shit and really just be a terror.
No, Shanks, Sakula smoked up. Not enough damage left for Roche. No Battle Fury completed yet on the Juggernaut. And looks like they will find Patsoul, but it has the War Cry. And they are in position to defend Bounty Hunter.
Or on point. There's an Omni Slash. A lot of creeps around though. There's the mech showed off. Now they're going to try to turn it. Damage on Petzl is there though. Shanks picking at him through the weeds, but now with the Omni Slash done, the follow-up damage is basically just Shanks. And let's see if they're going to be able to have enough. 747's behind him. Mantel in good position. Symbol of Peace going to double back. Does have a shuriken toss if he wants to use it. Instead, it's going to be picked off by a Scream of Pain. And now Shanks still giving pursuit. This is a big win for DKB as they brought it back to 5 for 5 behind that. Snake King actually out of position. Double kill now for Getovas. So 6 to 5 and a disastrous turn for Void Boys at a moment that should have been a huge win. They had the mech ready. They were had everything they needed, just bad timing. They weren't really fighting as a cohesive unit, and DKB able to capitalize. Well played.
That was a big mistake by Sven. He used his Warcry to pop away from the smoke, and then he didn't have it to tank the Omni Slash, and he got destroyed by the Omni Slash.
Radiant's bottom tower.
And yeah, Darkseer not there early enough to the fight. Really could have used a vacuum into a Stormbolt, a Windsor's Curse, kind of anything like that. But they will get a free tower, and luckily for Void Boys, they might be able to get the top tower in time. TP's coming out aplenty.
Basically, in one fight plus a tower, almost all of the lead that Void Boys had worked so hard in the first 15 minutes to build.
How did they get a free track kill?
That would be nice, but they're on the buddy system, man. It seems like it's getting tougher and tougher to catch DKB by themselves, except, you know, whenever your Queen of Pain says LOL no, and that's a track kill, so that helps.
I think they could have at least pressured the Bounty Hunter a little bit more with that. You can just blink out if you ever really feel scared. But now Mega Opponent will get that D ward, Queen of Pain.
Was Yules, by the way, for the quad.
Yeah. Okay, heroes that TP away as well as trying to catch a Darkseer, but overall, I'm not sure if that's the build.
And eating a bit of damage, able to blink to safety though. Both he and Stakula pretty low health.
Uh-oh, Sven has his Blink Dagger. He is ready to roll some people.
Echo Saber, Blink, Helm of the Dominator.
No ancient stacks for Jug, no stacks anywhere for his fresh Battle Fury.
You know, pretty much every other game I've casted today, by this time, the game was essentially over.
Dire's top tower.
And in some cases actually was over. Like serious, like FDL versus Drinking Boys was over in 15.5 minutes.
Dire's top tower has fallen.
So I actually get to cast a game of Dota this time.
Up. Fresh Blink, easy kill, easy track kill. These supports are falling pretty far behind on Drinking Boys. Enchantress doing okay with the drums, but no Dragon Lance, and no Ags. Not really able to do that much damage to a Sven.
Mantel throws down the Static Storm to try to stay safe, not going to matter. Really good reaction from 747. He was glimpsed, so he immediately doppel-walked and was able to secure himself a solo kill.
Really slow Static Storm by Disruptor.
Yep.
That's okay though. Bounty Hunter calling in reinforcements. Hey, somebody coming down here, kill this Enchantress. BOT. And no chance of TPing. However, she does have the move speed, pops the drums, and yeah, not enough slow. That Untouchable really doing work.
Yeah, the Untouchable's a real pain.
I think Drinking Boys can set up for a Roche. Like, have one of the supports push out top, get a few heroes to go over there, and then sneak in the Roche. They have Healing Ward, they have Beastmaster R, they have Untouchable to tank it. Should be pretty easy for them, or ideally maybe take a fight when Sven is pretty low, but I think that's what I'd be aiming for at the moment. Their gank is not that great because Beastmaster is not very farmed.
It's not going to be too long from now that I think Void Boys is just going to try to go fight. Sven is farmed as hell. Only about 1,000 gold off of his BKB. And top, 747 trying to go toe-to-toe with Mad. And he's just going to end up dead. So Getovas finds himself on a 4-1-1 tear. And Drinking Boys just not letting it go. I mean, they're actually playing this out pretty well. Looks like Void Boys was going to be able to dominate, but I like the way Drinking Boys has carved this map up and found their wins. Omni Slash. Mech is there. Kinetic Field's going to go down. Omega Power trying to heal through it and able to do so. Kinetic Field, though, keeps him contained just long enough. 8-8. We're all tied up again.
All right. Thought they had more heroes to help out the Winter Wyvern. Void Boys kind of falling like flies. They're just farming around the map in uncoordinated style.
That's kind of what I'm thinking. It feels like there's not a whole lot of actual attempt to 5-on-5 out of Void Boys. They're engaging in the fights where there's only 2 or 3 of them around, and very often DKB's outgunning.
Yeah, I think they would have been. They should have fought that one time that Sven died very early on. I think that was like their point to just kind of dominate Drinking Boys.
Yep.
And take down a lot of buildings, and even attempt to go for Roach if they win a team fight handily enough. But yeah, at this point, like, PL has just died a lot of times after farming their early BOTs. They haven't been able to get too many track kills. Sven with that one death actually set him back a decent amount, or else he'd be like 1.5x the Jug's net worth at this time. And Drinking Boys, sensing out something funny is happening, will not be in a good position
Dire's middle tower is
for
under
them
attack.
to get Winter's Curse into a vacuum. And 2 heroes taking up the mid. They were able to scout that out with an observer ward, but not sure where the other 3 are. Wow, they are so far back.
Yeah, both
They
teams.
must have seen that smoke.
I think that thought the Void Boys is just going to try to put a chokehold on them. Instead, they pull all the way back to the river. When they had pushed them all the way back into the base.
They don't want to 5-on-5. The Sven just picked his BKB, and they don't really have a good way to
Right.
stop him. He shouldn't die to the Omni Slash if he has his Warcry up and Beastmaster. Unless he gets a jump on them and can like mana burn him very early on before the BKB, I don't really think they can get a kill on him.
And that's kind of the thing, is I'm not surprised that DKB pulled that back that far. I was more surprised that Void Boys claimed the territory, laid some wards, and immediately fell back. I feel like they could be choking them very effectively right now.
They felt like they knew that they were smoked, and just not wanting to walk into
Dire's
it.
middle
Fair
tower
enough.
is under attack.
Fair enough. Symbol of Peace has eyes on him. He's actually going to be caught with dust. And he will be able to make it away. So DKB is still playing very cautiously. It looks like Void Boys is quite happy to allow him to do so. Diffusal up, level 1. Plus boots, bots I should say, for Phantom Lancer, so he's going to be able to control the map. And VB may honestly just be saying to themselves, we don't need to win now, we can win in 20 minutes.
I thought they were going to get involved a lot earlier. If they want to get involved in 20 minutes, they wouldn't have bought the BKB on the Sven, so they want to fight right now. A little bit of dewarding happening.
Up. Shanks way out in no man's land. BKB used preemptively to the extreme. Easy to understand why he would, but now that you've used that, there's going to be a roar from behind. Vacuum down. Sonic Wave's only going to catch 1. It's going to be Omega Phoner who's able to heal himself back up. DK Mad's going to make yet another track kill. That's 2 in a row. Mantel going to try to TP away. Do they have a stun? They do not. So Void Boys trades 2 for 1. They did manage to get the Winter Wyvern from behind nonetheless, but this should be a tier 2 mid at the very least.
That was a good BKB by him. If they just were able to eliminate the Enchantress because he doesn't have to deal with Untouchable. Oh, that's alright. Not great. I think that's acceptable for a 10-second BKB use. Yeah, and 747 with its Fusel at the ready. Still looking to take more fights. Omni Slash, the only real big ultimate up from Drinking Boys, but that will be enough to dissuade Void Boys.
Given the amount of synergy that VB has on their team, I'm beginning to get the feeling that Darkseer desperately needs a blink, and there it is. Never mind. I was just going to say, if Snaking had the ability to lead these fights off proper with a blink vacuum into Stormhammer, into Winter's Curse, etc.
While Drinking Boys are actually thinking about pushing right now, this is absurd. This could be where everything starts going wrong for them.
We're going to find out.
This is like super bold maneuver. Like they are so vulnerable to just getting jumped by the blink vacuum in a wall into Storm Bolt. So yeah, that's a risky play.
Both teams seeming to alternate between hyper aggression and timidity. Vanguard picked up by Bounty Hunter. Got kind of a grab bag. Mech should be out here shortly, only about 500 golds away. 500 golds, that's what I just said. Golds, plural. Gold, 500 gold away. Actually, why would he get Mech? It's already built on the Darkseer. Yeah, never mind. I saw the headdress. I'm an idiot. He's going for Crimson.
Some art style stuff right there.
Yeah.
Right now, I think it'd be a pretty good time for Drinking Boys to try and threaten Roach at least. Especially because they're all near that top side of the map, but they probably need to show Quap, I would say. If they wanted to do it.
There you go, DKB. Looks like they want to fight. They're going to move out, glimpse back. That's going to be Symbol of Peace, and they're just going to abandon him, it looks like. They clump up, though. Yep, there you go. Winner's Curse. Mad should end up dead from this, and he will not. Actually, the stick charges keep him alive. Omni Slash is there. Now the BKB out of the spin. They're going to turn this as Akula got way too aggressive. Eyes bigger than his stomach, and he pays the price. That's a killing spree for Patzel. Now, following it up, doesn't have Stormbolt at the ready, though, so unable to stun anyone else. Trading a Bounty Hunter for the Juggernaut, I think, is something they're going to be happy to have done. And that aggression blowing up in their faces. Now they lose their carry, and they lose a tier 2.
Yeah, Juggernaut's getting a little bit ahead of himself. I think he went right before the Winter's Curse, and all his teammates locked in place while he was going in 1v3. Warcry popped at the opportune time, not that much damage taken, and forced to bounce. Just does not have any survivability versus this manly man Sven.
Speaking of Sven, chopping away on some creeps. Jug's still down for 20 seconds, but doesn't want to take the chances. DKB is there to respond. We'll go ahead and pull back. So 26 minutes in. It is still Void Boys' game. They had a couple of dips here and there, but for the most part, it's still 100% in their control. About 10,000 gold advantage, 7,500 experience. And if you're DKB, have you missed your timing now? I mean, you have a lineup that we defined as more versatile during the draft, but by and large, it just seems like they've been scraping the hang on. They've been treading water and not drowning, but I don't feel like they've actually done a whole lot to help their cause as we get solidly into the mid-game now.
Yeah, they tried to stop the Sven's farm a little bit by warding it a couple times, but yeah, they just lost heroes here and there and unable to regain control of that, and they haven't been able to take down any T1s. It's very difficult to maneuver onto that side of the map with these T1s still up, but pushing that would have been suicidal versus the Sven, who already had a blink dagger by the time they made that jump over there. This top T1, not that big of a deal for Void Boys. Not terribly interested in defending it. Instead, mid, the big prize for Drinking Boys.
Let's see if they want to move. They are collapsing. Gadova's moving his way over. Jugger is there. Let's see if they're going to collapse on this spin. Looks like they want to. Omega Poner and Symbol of Peace are there. Here comes Snaking from behind. And it looks like DKB thought better of it. Now the chase is on. There's going to be a glimpse that sends one back. That was actually the spin. He got the Stormhammer off, but Kinetic Field should be enough to keep him safe. Snake King's outside of it, though. There's the vacuum. That's going to be a track kill. So they do manage to catch him. And it was actually a good glimpse. Sent the spin back about a million years. But now they're actually going to rush down mid. I think they're going high ground here.
That's pretty bold.
Yeah. That or they're going to push it in and try to back up and do a Roshan.
Yeah, I thought they'd just do Roche. Roche is a little bit safer for them at this point, but they are going to push high ground,
yep,
as you mentioned, and now is the time. Juggernaut pushing the T2. Don't think he'll be back on time. Oh, that was a not huge waste of ultimate because he does have the Scepter, but yeah, they just immediately popped their defensive cooldown immediately after. Man, I did not expect them to try and push high ground this early.
And that's a waste. Like, this is actually just being misplayed horrendously by drunk boys, drinking boys, whatever. There's going to be the Omni Slash, and the boots keep them alive. And yeah, they used all of their ults spread out with no support. All three of them. Oh, wow. Three-man vacuum. Goodbye. Good night. As Void Boys banishes DKB to the Void. Wow. And
I did not realize that Sven had to complete AC that fight too. Oh my goodness, the amount of damage that he did.
I mean, like, the damage was good, but I'm more concerned with DKB. Like you said, the Scepter on the Queen means, you know, a Sonic Wave's not that big a deal. The cooldown is only 40 seconds, but when you're talking a tier 3 defense and you're waiting on people to respawn, you blow your ult, it's immediately mech through. Then you walk up and you roar nobody, you know, and your Omni Slash, etc. They're just so spread out, there was no cohesion to it.
Yeah, there really wasn't.
And that's going to be a Roshan as well. They may just rotate. Actually, both lanes are pushed. That's going to say maybe rotate bottom.
That was really close to a steal by the Queen, though.
Yeah.
Just the kill, not the Aegis. But still, nice attempt by her.
Got to do what you got to do. All right, so they're in the home, Merlini. Tell me, what's the road to recovery?
Well, I thought they were gonna contest Roche much earlier, because they are dire and they have 3 heroes that are really good at Roche. But without that, they gotta get picks. Even they can't out execute Void Boys in a team fight because they have BKB on Sven. There's really no good answer to them. They can't kill him before he pops his BKB, and they can't kite him through it. They can roar him, but if they roar him, everyone else is going to die to like a vacuum Winter's Curse. So, firstly, they need to not come in fights. It's kind of self-explanatory, but it's very difficult versus the vacuum. Secondly, keep their farm up and not die. I don't know. There's not too much in terms of outplaying them at this point.
I think if you're Void Boys, you're running down, you're marching down lanes, and you're, oh wow, they just absolutely fed off the Necro Creeps as well. Book on cooldown for 60 seconds. And yeah, this is just troublesome. I'm not even sure what you're able to do. 747 is able to do whatever he pleases. He's got his Aegis, able to split push top. Looks like the Quap wants to track him down. Sonic Wave will be used, but again, he uses it basically to farm. Sakula trying to be cute and maybe try to find something to do in that part of the map as well. But Void Boys just utterly controlling the map. I don't even know what you can do. Shank's going to be caught. Vacuums there. That's a track kill. Not that it matters at this point. The gold is off the charts in favor of Void Boys. 20k as a matter of fact. And that's 40 seconds is down. Without buyback, might I add.
Well, Jug has the Fusel Blade, not terribly useful because he does not have a Manta, and he's up against Warcry, so physical damage is going to be severely lacking, and I don't think he can stand toe-to-toe with Sven.
Patzel needs some damage. He's going to BKB. It's a little pure damage from the Sonic Wave, but doesn't care. Just doing work as Sakula's down yet again. Gedova sent packing for the Fountain. This will be Rax number 2. The Greaves keep everyone up and fighting, and just a matter of time now. We'll see the tap out.
Yeah, I don't. It's really hard for them to like. I thought their lineup was worse to begin with, but I was like, oh, okay, maybe Enchantress can do a lot of work in the early game. Slow down the stacks, slow down the Winter Wyvern.
We just saw no pressure early.
Kill
like,
Dark Syria. I think they really were too stingy on the smokes in the early game, and too stingy with the Sentry Wards to deward those Observers so they could smoke. But they really had to smoke a lot more in the early game, get more mileage out of the Queen of Pain. With using her ultimate. Beastmaster kind of struggled a little bit in the bottom lane, but it wasn't the easiest lane for him.
Don't know how big a fan I am of Yule's first build on the Queen either.
Yeah, I don't think it would have made that big a difference. Like Orchid is kind of meh. It's kind of meh because she would just die super easily. So I think it was in an attempt to try and get some solo picks, but like they really need that mid T1 down much earlier. But you know, they kind of walked into that Winter's Curse. They lost the Queen of Pain for not a particularly good fight. Now Phantom Lancer has a heart, and combine that with the Cold Embrace and the Glimmer Cape, there are a couple heroes that are near impossible to kill if you add Warcry on top of that. And the Necro 3 from the Beastmaster came out pretty late. I am lagging a lot. Are you lagging?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. The Necro 3 came out like, I think a little after 20 minutes, and I don't think he got an Iron Talent, so it was much slower than it could have been. So, you know, just a lot of small mistakes here and there for Drinking Boys. Subpar draft, not good rotation from the Enchantress in the early game, not really capitalizing on the Queen of Pain getting level 6 as well as the Beastmaster, and trying to outfarm a Sven and the Juggernaut is just a lost cause.
There's a roar. They're going to try to follow it. Winter's Curse on point, though. They got Sakula. He should die from this, and he will. There's a vacuum to catch the other two. Sonic Wave goes off, and it's basically just a shout of good game well played. Full 5-man wipe to close things out. And Void Boys improves their overall record by 1. Drinking Boys, well, guys, it's last call. Time to go home. Don't gotta go home. You can't stay here.
I like how you call them drunk boys.
Yeah, I would be drunk if I got stomped that badly. So I mean, good effort. Well, tried to be positive. I mean, honestly, DKB. This is the second time I've cast them the day now, and they just feel outclassed even by a Void Boys team. I mean, Void Boys not bad. I mean, it's not like they're like true absolute trash tier, but. They just don't even feel like they're close to it. The real news, though, you managed to get all 4 of your predictions correct. Woo!